Alright, so for this week's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. I know the channel's mostly educational and topical, but something special happened today. I was able to successfully pull off a watch trade. Might not be what you think. So I'm going to bring everybody along for the journey, and then we're going to go do the trade, or take in the receiving part of the trade at least, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. So let's take a look.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
We are going to, I should look at the road and not you.
Yeah.
Pick up a car that I've been trying to pull off. What is one of my dreams is trading watches for a car, and I have been unsuccessful in my attempts to do so. Finally pulled it off. Thanks to my good friends at Grey and Patina, Menard and Curtis, we are going to pick up a car that I traded them several watches for. And I wanted to do it because I guess it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. If the watches are already in inventory, it's not money out of my pocket. And I have a car buying problem, a watch buying problem, but I have a car buying problem as well. And this was an easy way. Oh, it's the driver calling me now. Hello?
Yeah, I just walked to the parking lot, and it doesn't really look like we're gonna fit in here. We might have been able to if one of the entrances, because one entrance is locked off, and maybe if it was open we could have fit, but
Okay, I'm a few blocks away, so I mean, you want to just like pull down a side street off of Biscayne? Just pull off down a street off of Biscayne Boulevard. Just tell me what street it is. Because it's all like residential there anyway, so if you pull down a street, it's not going to be a big deal.
the main entrance is fine. It's not really a problem for like the cops.
Right.
Coming.
Listen, that's up to you, man. You wanna just do it where you're at, then just start. You can start unloading it.
All right.
All right. So I'll be there in like 3 minutes. I'm not.
All right. So it's a white truck, white trailer.
I'm sure I'll fucking see you if it's that big. All right. Cool. All right. I'll see you in a minute. Thank you, brother. Where were we? Yeah, so thank you, Grey and Patina. Let's see. Hopefully it's everything I expect it to be. Let's park our car. How am I going to get out of here?
Are they gonna leave it right there?
They're going to pull the car off right here. I'll have to drive it out. You're going to have to hop in this car. It's not an M5, people.
Yeah, this is literally in the middle of the road. I mean,
Not the most ideal place to do this.
hope he's. What is that up there, dude? That's a
Yeah. This was a track car. Might just do a front respray. Alright. Sign off, get the fuck out of the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
What do we got?
Got a 996 GT3. Circa 2004. Very first GT3. Let's get this bad boy on the track. Let's get it home. Revs so high too. So we're back. To be honest with everybody, this recording is now a few days after, like a week after actually I got the car. I've had some time to digest. We're gonna work through the numbers on what I traded in, show you a quick picture. It's been a while because Menard and I concocted this deal over several weeks, and it's been a while now. But anyways, we're going to show you the watches I traded in. I'm going to tell you what I paid for those watches, what I put them into the trade at the trade value. I'm going to give you my thoughts on how this all went down. Did I do a good trade? Was it the right move for me? And yeah, just my overall opinion on the whole process. So like I said, first of all, again, big shout out to Curtis and Maynard from Grey and Patina. Follow their page at Grey and Patina. I don't know, they do some cool, fancy, artsy watch videos, but they're great guys and their educational content's really good. And also shout out to TLG Auto. I don't think they have a YouTube page, but TLG Auto, Marco Geraci in LA for looking over the car for me and doing some work to it. But yeah, so before I got the car, Maynard and I kept going back and forth on certain watches that they wanted to take into trade for it. You'll see an image here. I don't know if it's going to show up where my finger is or not, but quick image of what I traded in. So from those 5 watches, Maynard had originally told me to put a trade value of around $70,000 that he wanted on the car. There was a 1680, reference 1680 Rolex Red Submariner. There was a Rolex Submariner reference 5513, one with a maxi dial, a matte maxi dial from the 70s, and one with a later white gold surrounds gloss dial from the 1980s. There was a Tudor big block chronograph from the 1980s, I believe. And there was an 18038, reference 18038, solid gold Rolex President with a black dial, if memory serves. So, the numbers. The red sub, I believe my cost on that watch was $19,000. I put a trade value of $20,000. The Tudor, my cost was $6,000, and I put an equal value of $6,000 on the trade. Same with the 5513 gloss dial. My cost was around $10,000, and I put the same trade value of $10,000. The 18038 date 8, my cost was $12,000, and I think I put a trade value of $13,000. And the 5513 maxi dial, my cost was $14,000, and I put a trade value, I believe, of around $17,000. For the 3 watches, the red sub, the Tudor, the 5513 gloss dial, you know, because a lot of people who I've told about this trade were like, well, why didn't you do that? Aren't watches easier to sell than cars? There's no paperwork, there's no transferring title, there's no shipping this large item. Watches are easy in and out. You don't have to register them anywhere. And yeah, it's true. That's why a lot of people love trading in watches and collecting them, because it's very simple. You could just stick them in your safe, pull them out, ship them off to a guy like me, and I could pay you the next day for it without having to go through all the hassle of filling out paperwork and registering it with the DMV and yada, yada, yada. But in this case, those 3 watches, I was actually happy to trade. They were great watches, but for some reason, they were sitting on the website. They weren't really moving. No one was really interested in them.
by sending them to Grey and Patina, they actually sold them very quickly. And sometimes it takes, it's, a perception thing. They're in somebody else's hands and they're able to market it to their clients, and they were able to move them quickly. But for me, it was stale inventory. They were just kind of sitting. They weren't moving. I had them for several months, and even though they were great watches, they weren't moving. The 18038 and the 5513 Maxi Dial, they were more recent additions to my inventory, and I needed something to fill the gap, and it kind of, after juggling around different variants, those numbers worked out. Could I have maximized more profit by selling the watches individually? Probably. But it worked out numbers-wise, and it seemed to make the most sense in the trade, and I was able to assign a value to them in the trade that was more than my cost, thereby pushing the value or the number that I'm into the car overall for a little bit less. So let's total it up real quick. So on my cost side, we have 19 plus 6 plus 14 plus 12 plus 10. So my total cost on the watches was $61,000. Now what I assigned a trade value towards was 20 plus 6 plus 17 plus 13. No, I did something wrong. Hold on, let's do this again. 20 plus 6 plus 17 plus 13 plus 10. So I gave him a trade value of $66,000 towards the car. So basically my cost on the car is $61,000. I paid Marco around $2,200 for some repairs before it got here. I paid another $2,000 for shipping. I'm assuming I'm going to have to, I haven't even registered the car yet. So I'm assuming I have to pay some taxes as well. So my cost should be right around $70,000 all in for the car. Could I have made that much money selling the watches individually? Probably yes, maybe even a little bit more. Could I have gotten into that car for that amount elsewhere? It's tough. That car actually, I don't know if anybody here is car people. I'm assuming there's some crossover because there's a lot of crossover in the car and watch world. It's a first generation GT3, model number, I was about to say reference. Model number 996 GT3, the first one they made. They're becoming very, very collectible. My car, my new car, is not a mint example. It's got like 62,000 miles. It's got rock chips. It was tracked. But I like my cars having some wear to them so I could actually drive them. I don't want mint ball examples, and not like, unlike watches in that respect, I'm not looking at these for investment values. I actually like to drive and enjoy the cars. So the car's probably worth what I'm in it for. But the values on these are climbing. If you look at recent auction results, there's like a 9,000 mile example, and I think the price is ridiculous, but like same color, pretty much similar spec to my new car, sold for like 190 grand, which I think is crazy. I'm not saying my car is worth that. It's certainly not. But yeah, it was for me a no-brainer deal. Just because, again, 3 out of the 5 watches were in my inventory that were stale. They were not moving, so it was kind of dead money. I really wanted this car. I was looking for one. I've been looking for one for probably over a year now. And I probably wouldn't have cut a check for one right now in this moment in time if I had to just come out of pocket with the money because of my business and cash flow and everything like that. So I was really excited to be able to effectuate this trade with Menard because it was a long time coming and I've wanted this car for quite some time. So from a business perspective, yeah, maybe not the best idea because I could have maximized my money selling the watches. But from a personal perspective, I was able to get into the car I wanted and able to enjoy it now at a price that I found to be reasonable without me having to psychologically pull money out of my pocket. Psychologically, in reality, pull money out of my pocket to pay for it. And I think at the end of the day, kind of like with watches and with cars, that's the most important thing is being able to enjoy it and being happy with what you have. So again, yeah, my car is not mint. It's got a lot of miles. It's got a lot of wear. But I am able to enjoy it, and I'm very happy with what I have, and I think that's more important to me than having some car for an investment that I can't drive and I can't use because I'm worried about the miles going up, kind of like a rare vintage watch that's in perfect condition that you're afraid to wear because if you scratch it, you're going to hurt the value. So very similar concept there. But yeah, I'm really excited. Of course, there's already a problem with the car, like all these old cars tend to have. I need a new clutch because the carrier And he screwed up our video. Thanks, Gabe. It's okay. Let's keep rolling. The carrier ragged on the clutch, and throw-off bearing or something was screwed up, and we need a whole new clutch. Got to drop the transmission, but it's part of the game, and it will raise my cost undoubtedly. This kid. This kid. Anyways, so yeah. What do you guys think? Would you have done the same trade? Would you have just kept the money in the business or tried to maximize the watches? Would you have taken the car that you wanted even though you clearly don't need it? Because I clearly didn't need it. I don't know. Tell me what you think below. Again, sorry this wasn't super educational content like we're trying to put out on this channel, but it was kind of something that I was really excited about, and it's not like a flex or anything. It's just me being excited and also coming through with a dream of trading watches for a car that I really wanted, and finally got it done. And for the last time, thanks again, Grey and Patina. Love you guys, and thanks for watching. Again, tell me what you think below. Like, comment, subscribe, yada, 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 yada. And yeah, guys, enjoy your week and be good.